Is 2022 the right time to be investing in commercial multifamily deals? What's going on, everyone? This is Lucas Miller with Fear Free Passive Investing, where we talk all things passive commercial real estate investing, passively investing in syndications, passively investing in funds, all types of different commercial real estate assets we talk about here on this channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Lucas Miller. I love to have you here. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, but let's get into the video. Many have communicated to me that they're unsure that now is the right time to be investing in real estate, specifically commercial real estate. They think the market's overheated. They're not really sure what the landscape looks like, but they feel like something is bubbling. They feel like too many people are involved in this. They feel, if it's this good, it's too good to be true. It's fair. The problem with that is a lot of people are not experts in this field. A lot of people don't understand what's going on. So we need to look to the experts at what they're saying about things right now. Now, I've done some videos about interest rates right now. I'll link that right here. But really what we need to look is no one really understands everything that goes into these deals. And so it's important to understand that we do not know for sure what's going to happen, but we can extrapolate what some of these experts are saying and make some logical guesses. Now, the cool part for you is I've done a lot of this research ahead of time, and I've kind of synthesized down what to expect in 2022 into 3 different things. So let's get started. Number 1, inflation. We're at 6.8% inflation right now, and this administration is doing very little to combat that. That's concerning to a lot of people for a lot of reasons, but inflation's impact on commercial real estate is really kind of nuanced right now. It's probably here to stay in 2022. That's why it's made the list. We did an episode on the Fed's impact in inflation that I just talked about. So make sure to watch that video if you haven't already. It gets into a lot of what we're talking about here about how it impacts commercial real estate. So it's an important episode to watch. But what is interesting is rents rose 15% in 2022 last year, or 2021, last year. It doesn't take a mathematical genius to understand the impact that has had on valuations. We'll talk about that in a minute. So what do we know about inflation based on previous trends in America? How is this impacting things, previously, years before? Well, commercial real estate has generally been sort of a hedge against inflation. Typically, if inflation picks up, real estate does just fine. I don't think we're going to see anything different this time around. I think if inflation doesn't pick up or even subsides, which I think is highly unlikely, real estate is going to do very well. It's still relatively cheap compared to prevailing bond yields, things like that. All of this means I think we're in a very favorable spot with commercial real estate, with this asset class, with this asset type. It doesn't necessarily matter what exactly you're invested in, whether it's self-storage, whether it's multifamily, whether it's industrial, which is doing very well right now. It typically doesn't really matter as much as long as there's a hard asset backing what you're invested in. Number 2 is rate hikes, interest rate hikes. The interest rates are still at historically low. It takes time to hike things to a dangerous level. So don't be afraid of what the Fed is saying. I think we'll likely see at least 2 rate hikes next year, but that doesn't necessarily equate to interest rates rising. Now, I know that's really kind of confusing and nuanced, but the Fed just sort of directs things. Whether commercial real estate lenders pick up on that or follow that direction is one thing, but the Fed does, quote, raise rates, and they believe what they're doing is good. And so with these rate hikes, commercial real estate seems to be a haven for a lot of people. They want to park their money in something that is backed by an actual asset, and it's done well in the previous year, so we don't see that being any different this year. Okay, number 3, cap rate compression. This is going to potentially be a little contentious with a lot of people, but I see valuations for a lot of commercial real estate assets continuing to increase in 2022. But in a recent webinar from Green Street, Michael Knott, he's an economist, someone an expert in this field. He said that he estimates that commercial real estate values are going to increase this year. Both the valuations and the yields are going to increase this year. Values are expected to rise 11%. Yields will average around 6%. Now, that means these deals are only getting more and more valuable. Commercial real estate prices are roughly up 24% year over year, roughly 15% over pre-COVID levels. That's staggering right now, because I think all of us who were around during pre-COVID and during COVID were really scared about what this was going to do to valuations. And there was all kinds of experts coming out saying, oh, this is going to tank commercial real estate. Most of them were wrong. There were a few here and there that made some good predictions on different asset types, like hotels, like industrial, that were pretty much spot on. But multifamily was scary because we weren't really sure how it was going to impact us, which is what I focus on. But the reason for these boosts in value is really simple. Real estate is cheap compared to the corporate bond market right now. It's attracting a lot of attention and a lot of capital. The competition is really driving up the prices. Cap rates are being compressed even further. Real estate returns when compared to corporate bonds are 22% higher than commercial real estate assets. That's a very bullish signal that these valuations are going to continue to increase. Cap rates are going to compress. Again, I would say that right there is the main crux of this entire video, is that we are very bullish on commercial real estate right now, just based on inflation alone, but also cap rate compression. All right, so there's my top 3. In conclusion, if I had to make a prediction, which I hate making predictions, I see a very favorable year for commercial real estate. No one really truly knows, and there's a few things that could change that. One, a black swan event, which, if you're not familiar with what a black swan event is, you can Google it, but basically it's something that nobody sees coming that is going to change the landscape dramatically from what it is right now. COVID was a really good black swan event, but it's usually something that changes things, and that definitely makes the landscape a lot more different. COVID was a big one, but this Omicron variant, that's the latest variant as of January 2022, that so far that hasn't been the impactful thing that a lot of people thought it would. I think really the biggest unknown right now is the political and societal upheaval. I think 2020 was rough for a lot of people. COVID aside, there was a lot of political and social unrest that changed things a lot. And I think that's a huge red flag for a lot of people that are feeling this bubbling up, but I am as well. That being said, I'm still pushing forward, looking for a lot of deals right now. I'm very bullish, like I just talked about, based on the cap rate compression. So if you're looking for yield, if you're looking for returns in 2022 and you want to be passive, join me at fearfreepassive.com. Click the invest with us. We'll connect you, see if it's right for you, see if it's right for your family, for your goals and all that stuff. But if it's not, you need to continue to educate yourself. You need to continue to invest in real estate. If you want to be more active, we can help you with resources there too. There's a lot of stuff that you should be doing right now. There's going to be a lot of people made wealthy in 2022, and I want that to be you. So thank you for watching this video. If I can answer any questions, please let me know. But I look forward to talking with you on the next video. Thanks.